Hey everyone, and welcome back to Motivation Library. Today we're diving deep into Things I Never Said to Myself.
By Duduzile Noeleen Ngwenya.
Such a powerful book. I think you'll find it incredibly insightful.
You know what I thought was really cool? The way the book is structured.
Well, yeah.
It's divided into like 3 collections.
Interesting.
Each one explores a different part of self-love and personal growth.
It's like a journey, huh?
It is. It really is a journey.
Unfolding in stages.
Yeah.
I like that.
And right from the dedication, you can just feel how sincere the author is.
The dedication is beautiful.
It's to her family, but,
It's universal, right?
it really is. It speaks to that feeling we all have of wanting to be our best selves.
Yeah, needing that support and encouragement to grow.
Exactly. And then you jump into the author's letter,
Huh?
and Ngwenya reveals something really interesting. She initially felt like the book wasn't
Wasn't good enough.
like it wasn't worth being read.
Wow.
And she only decided to publish it 3 years later.
So she was only 26.
26. Can you imagine?
That's pretty young to have these profound realizations.
Right. You're 26, still figuring things out, and suddenly you have this amazing message about self-love to share with the world.
It's like she's saying, hey, I've been there, I've struggled, I've had those doubts, but I've learned.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so relatable.
Especially for young people.
Yes. They're bombarded with pressure and expectations.
Social media doesn't help.
It really doesn't. But this book is like a breath of fresh air. It's saying, hey, it's okay to not have it all figured out.
To struggle, to make mistakes.
Yeah, it's all part of the journey.
Because self-love isn't a destination, it's something you're always working on.
That's a really good point. And Ngwenya really stresses that self-love is a practice.
What does that mean? What do we have to do?
It's about being mindful of our thought patterns,
Yeah.
recognizing that the things we think, they directly impact our emotions.
That makes sense. But how do we do that?
But she doesn't just tell us to think positive thoughts.
That would be too easy,
Right. She gives us a framework to understand how our thoughts, what we tell ourselves.
Like our inner voice?
Exactly. It shapes our reality, our whole experience of life.
That's deep.
It is. And part of that framework is identifying the words and phrases that bring us joy versus the ones that trigger negativity.
Yeah.
And then we can rewrite those stories.
Change the narrative.
Exactly. It's powerful stuff. And that brings us to Collection I.
Which is?
It's filled with these short, punchy verses.
Kind of like affirmations.
Kind of, yeah. Little nuggets of wisdom you can take with you throughout the day.
Okay.
What's really cool is how she combines self-awareness with this profound compassion.
How so?
She reminds us to breathe, to slow down, to acknowledge that we're doing better than we think.
I love that.
For example, there's this one verse that always sticks with me. Breathe, one day at a time, one step at a time. You're doing a lot better than you think.
I love that. So simple, yet so profound.
Right. It's that reminder to be kind to ourselves, to have self-compassion, especially when things are tough.
And that connects to what we see in psychology.
It really does. The idea of mindfulness, that's all about observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment.
That's crucial for self-acceptance, right?
Absolutely. And then Ngwenya takes it a step further with forgiveness. There's this incredibly moving part where she lists things we should forgive ourselves for.
Like what?
Like tolerating unfairness, not knowing better, putting others before ourselves.
I think we're all guilty of that sometimes.
It's so powerful because she's giving us permission to let go of the guilt, the shame.
It's heavy stuff to carry around.
It is. We're all human. We all make mistakes.
And those mistakes don't define us.
They don't. Forgiving ourselves is the key to growing, to healing. It's about acknowledging our past, but not letting it control our future.
I love that. Okay, so we've covered self-awareness, compassion, forgiveness.
What else is there?
Well, there's another important theme that runs through Collection A.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
It's resilience.
Ah, yes. That's so important.
Right. Ngwenya constantly reminds us that we are strong, that we can overcome obstacles.
That we have that inner strength.
She uses phrases like, you are stronger than you think, and this too shall pass.
I love that.
Which are not just cliches, but powerful affirmations.
They really are. It's about recognizing that setbacks happen, but we choose how we respond.
It's about finding that inner strength to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and keep going.
Exactly. Okay, so that's Collection I. What's next?
Collection 2 is where things shift a bit.
Oh, how so?
The format changes.
Interesting.
Ngwenya starts writing these beautiful letters to herself.
Dear self letters.
Yes. Expressing her desires, her vulnerabilities, her aspirations.
Wow, so it gets really personal.
It does. It's like we're peeking into her journal.
I love that.
witnessing her raw, honest self-reflection.
And that format, it's powerful.
It is. It allows for so much introspection and vulnerability
It can be really transformative.
for the writer and the reader,
It's like having a conversation with yourself.
acknowledging both your strengths and your areas for growth.
Exactly. And Ngwenya is so open about her emotions. She expresses feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, the pressure to live up to expectations.
She keeps it real.
She does, which makes her even more relatable.
It's refreshing.
It is. It shows that she's not perfect. She's still on her own journey.
And she's willing to share that journey with us.
Precisely. There's one letter that really hit me hard.
Okay.
She apologizes to herself. She says, "Dear self, I am sorry for all the times you felt broken, hopeless, less worthy, for not pushing myself enough to understand that it was okay for you to feel the way you did."
It's so raw and honest.
Isn't it? She's acknowledging her pain, giving herself permission to let go of those negative judgments.
We should all learn to do that.
Absolutely. We deserve kindness, even from ourselves. And in this collection, she also introduces a daily prayer.
A prayer.
Yeah, for gratitude, strength, healing, and self-love.
Oh, wow.
It's beautifully written.
I'd love to hear it.
She asks for a grateful heart, the strength to move past what hurts, and the ability to love those around me, and most importantly, myself.
That's beautiful.
It is. It's a framework for connecting with something bigger than ourselves.
Whether that's God, the universe, or our own inner wisdom.
Exactly. And the best part is she encourages readers to make it their own.
Adapt it to their personal belief.
Right. It's not about reciting words. It's about finding a language for self-love that really resonates.
Finding what works for you.
Exactly. Okay, before we move on to the final collection,
Yeah.
I just want to point out something really interesting about the book's structure.
I'm all ears.
Each section builds upon the previous one.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It's like a gradual progression.
From self-awareness to compassion to forgiveness, resilience.
And ultimately to this incredible expression of self-love in those dear self letters and prayers.
Wow.
It's very intentional. Ngwenya is guiding us step by step.
It's like she's holding our hand through the whole journey.
Yes. She's saying, I'm here with you. Let's do this together. Let's explore. Let's practice. Let's see how these ideas can change our lives.
I love that.
Okay.
Okay, so collection 3. What can you tell us about it?
That's where things get even more interesting.
How so?
Let's talk about it after a quick break.
So we left off talking about collection 3.
Yeah, collection 3, Affirmations.
Oh, right. Affirmations.
This is where the tone shifts again. It's more
what?
It's bolder, more declarative.
Like she's speaking these truths into existence.
Exactly. And that's the whole point of affirmations, right?
To focus on the positive.
To consciously choose those beliefs about ourselves, about what we're capable of.
Give me an example.
Okay, so she has affirmations like, everything falls into place eventually.
I like that one.
I am doing the best I can.
We could all use that reminder.
Right. And I am not my anxiety, sadness, or failures.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Powerful, right? And the fascinating thing is there's actual science behind this. Yeah, when we repeat those positive statements over and over.
It actually changes our brains.
It does. We're
Yeah.
essentially rewiring ourselves for greater self-compassion, resilience,
Like planting seeds of self-love.
and watching them grow.
I love that analogy.
And, even if you don't fully believe the affirmation at first,
Which I think can be hard sometimes.
it can be. But the act of repeating it, it starts to shift your mindset.
So it's worth a try.
Definitely. And Ngwenya brings it all together in her final thoughts.
What is she saying?
She reminds us that self-love is a lifelong journey.
It never ends.
It's this ongoing effort to truly understand and embrace ourselves, the good, the bad, everything.
Like living all for
Exactly. And that's something we all need to hear, especially in a world obsessed with external validation.
Where everyone's trying to be perfect.
Right. It's so easy to forget that genuine self-acceptance is what truly matters.
She has some pretty powerful lines in those final thoughts, doesn't she?
She does. She does. There's one that just blows me away.
Tell me.
She says, self-love is a lifetime journey, and you are worth being dedicated a lifetime for.
Wow.
I know, right? Mic drop moments.
Serious mic drop.
It's a call to action, a reminder to prioritize our well-being.
And not just in a selfish way.
Exactly. It's about laying the foundation for a more fulfilling life.
Because when we love ourselves, we can love others better.
Exactly. And she doesn't just tell us to feel good about ourselves.
She wants us to do something about it.
Yeah. She pushes us to take action.
To do what?
To explore, to learn, to unlearn, to really live authentically.
To make choices that reflect who we truly are.
Yes. It's about taking those internal shifts and turning them into tangible changes in our lives.
Okay, so for our listeners out there, what does this all mean for them? How can they take these insights from things I never said to myself and apply them to their own lives?
That's a great question. I think one of the biggest takeaways is the importance of self-compassion.
Which is something we often struggle with.
We do. We're so hard on ourselves, so quick to judge.
Always focusing on our flaws, our mistakes.
But Ngwenya reminds us to be gentle, to acknowledge our struggles without shame.
To treat ourselves with the same kindness we'd offer a friend.
Exactly. And I know that can be really challenging.
Especially if you've got that negative self-talk going on.
Right. But that's where those affirmations come in. By consciously choosing to focus on those positive beliefs.
It's like we're creating a safe space for ourselves mentally.
I love that. And another key takeaway is forgiveness. Remember that list.
Of all the things we should forgive ourselves for.
Yeah. Past mistakes, not knowing better, prioritizing others' needs above our own.
It's so liberating to let that stuff go.
It is. It releases us from that weight of guilt and shame.
It allows us to move forward with a clean slate.
And Ngwenya also talks about the importance of rest, of taking breaks.
Self-care.
Exactly. And it's not selfish, it's essential.
It's about listening to your body, recognizing when you need to recharge.
And that looks different for everyone.
Some people need a spa day, others need a hike in the woods.
The key is to find what works for you and make it a regular practice.
Because self-care is an investment in our well-being.
It is. And speaking of investments, Ngwenya also talks about the importance of setting boundaries.
Yes. Boundaries are crucial.
She encourages us to know our worth, to protect our energy.
To say no when we need to.
Exactly, to create healthy limits in our relationships.
But that can be tough.
It can be, especially if you're a people pleaser.
Or afraid of conflict.
But it's so important. It's about honoring ourselves.
And communicating our needs clearly.
Yes, and sometimes that means disappointing others.
But it's okay to prioritize your own well-being.
It is. It's about choosing yourself.
Which is a powerful act of self-love.
It is. And if you're struggling with boundaries, start small.
Maybe just say no to one extra commitment.
Or take some time for yourself each day.
You deserve to feel respected and valued.
And boundaries help make that happen.
Okay, so we've got self-compassion, forgiveness, self-care, boundaries.
What else? Oh, Ngwenya also talks about gratitude.
Oh, yes. She has that beautiful daily prayer for gratitude.
Yeah. It's such a powerful practice, shifting our focus from what we lack to what we have.
Appreciating the little things.
Exactly. And there's actually a ton of research on the benefits of gratitude.
Really? Like what?
It can reduce stress, improve sleep, boost happiness.
Wow, I need to practice gratitude more.
We all do. It's a simple but powerful tool for well-being.
So start a gratitude journal. Write down what you're thankful for.
Or just take a few moments each day to reflect.
And you'll be amazed at how much of a difference it makes.
And building on gratitude, Ngwenya also encourages us to embrace our imperfections.
To love our flaws.
To see them as part of what makes us unique, beautiful.
We don't have to be perfect to be worthy.
Absolutely. In fact, our imperfections often make us more interesting, more relatable.
It's about letting go of that need to present a perfect image to the world.
And just being our authentic selves.
Because when we stop trying to be someone we're not, we free up so much energy.
Energy we can use to focus on what truly matters.
And it's a lot more fun.
It is. It's about celebrating our individuality.
Recognizing that our differences are what make us special.
And this ties back to self-compassion.
How so?
When we accept ourselves, flaws and all, we're more likely to be kind and understanding towards others.
It's a ripple effect.
It is. It starts with self-love and spreads outward.
To our relationships, to the world.
Okay, now we've talked a lot about the internal work of self-love.
But there's more to it than that, right?
Right. Ngwenya also emphasizes the importance of taking action.
Out in the world.
Yes. Using our voices, speaking up for what we believe in.
Making a difference.
She wants us to contribute to something bigger than ourselves.
And she reminds us that we all have unique gifts to offer.
Talents we can use to make a positive impact.
And it doesn't have to be some grand gesture.
It can be as simple as volunteering, supporting a cause, being kind in our daily interactions.
Just small acts of goodness.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that we're all interconnected.
That our actions matter.
They do, no matter how small.
And I think that's a really empowering message, especially for young people.
It is. It's saying your voice matters, your actions matter, you have the power to make a difference.
So inspiring.
It is. It's a reminder that we're not just passive passengers in life.
We can shape our destinies.
And create a better world.
Okay, as we wrap up our discussion of things I never said to myself.
Yeah.
What are some key takeaways for our listeners to ponder?
Well, first and foremost, remember the power of self-compassion.
Treat yourself with kindness.
Like you would treat a friend.
Embrace those imperfections.
They're part of what makes you, you.
Cultivate gratitude.
Focus on the good.
Set healthy boundaries.
Protect your time and energy. Take action.
Use your voice, your talents to make a difference.
And never forget
What?
that self-love is a journey.
It's a lifelong adventure,
Full of ups and downs.
but so worth it.
Because you are worth it.
You are.
And that's a wrap on this deep dive into things I never said to myself. This has been such a great conversation. Thank you for joining me. The pleasure was all mine. I love talking about this stuff.
And for our listeners, if you enjoyed this deep dive,
Be sure to like this video.
and subscribe to the Motivation Library channel to support the creation of future episodes.
We really appreciate your support.
We do. And before we go, I have one final question for you all.
Oh, let's hear it.
Based on everything we've talked about today, what would you say to your past self?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Let that question guide you as you continue on your journey of self-discovery.
We'll see you back here soon at the Motivation Library.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep believing in yourself. It's a journey you don't have to go on alone.
That's so true.
Things I never said to myself, you can be like,
A roadmap.
yeah, a
A
guide,
companion.
a source of inspiration.
Exactly.
So we've talked about self-compassion, forgiveness, gratitude, boundaries.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have, but there's one more thing I want to touch on.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
It's about dreams. Ngwenya doesn't just talk about dreaming, she talks about,
About taking action.
yeah, making those dreams a reality.
She's all about action, isn't she?
She is. She even quotes Thomas Jefferson.
Okay, what does he say?
I never knew a man that was good at making excuses who was good at anything else.
Ooh, that's good. I like that.
It's a reminder that we can't let fear hold us back.
More self-doubt.
We have to be willing to take risks.
Step outside our comfort zones.
And she acknowledges that it's not always going to be easy.
There will be challenges, setbacks,
Moments of doubt,
but those are all part of the journey.
and they make the triumphs even sweeter.
They do, they do.
And she encourages us to celebrate every step of progress.
Even the small wins.
Exactly. It's about recognizing how far we've come,
Having faith in ourselves.
believing that we can achieve anything we set our minds to.
And that's what this book is all about.
It's a message of hope,
Of resilience.
of the power of self-love.
It's a reminder that we're all worthy of love, happiness, fulfillment.
And it all starts with believing in ourselves.
I love that.
I loved diving into this book with you.
Me too. It's been such a great conversation.
It has so much wisdom, so much practical advice.
Our listeners are going to love it.
I think so too. And don't forget, you can find more information about the book
And about Duduzile Noeleen Ngwenya.
in the video description below.
And if you enjoy this deep dive,
Be sure to like this video.
and subscribe to the Motivation Library channel.
It really helps us out.
And allows us to create more episodes like this one.
Thank you all so much for joining us today.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope this conversation inspired you to start your own journey of self-discovery.
And to keep exploring that beautiful, complex world of self-love.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep believing in yourself.
See you soon at the Motivation Library.